You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I'll let Usher explain that to y'all.
Kylie Jenner just shook the table with a new set of revelations about the real reason why Justin attacked Usher, and the details are messier than you think. If y'all remember, Kylie was rumored to be having a secret affair with Justin right around the same time he was being passed around the industry for alleged freak-offs by Usher and Diddy. In fact, word on the street is that all the Kardashian sisters were actively taking turns with him. And when I say all, I mean all of them. There are even receipts that Kim may have been part of the folks who took advantage of him. And apparently, while all this craziness was going on, Justin confided in Kylie about what was happening to him. So if anyone knows the details about him and Usher, it'll be her. Now, for those of y'all who are somehow out of the loop about Kylie and Justin, it all goes back to his days as a raging substance addict, something that Usher and Diddy have since been accused of being responsible for. You see, at the time, Justin was very close to the Kardashians, and literally best friends with Kylie and Kendall. This is also around the time he was in his highly on and off again toxic relationship with Selena. But as y'all know, he was still sleeping around. A source who spoke to Life and Style magazine claimed that Selena red-handedly caught Justin and Kendall getting intimate in bed after the 2015 Coachella. After the Coachella festival, when Selena and Justin were still a couple, Selena showed up at his house and walked in on him and Kendall in bed together, fooling around. Selena was heartbroken and literally freaked out. And things went on to get messier when Justin decided to hook up with Kylie as well. According to an insider who spoke exclusively to Hollywood Unlocked, he was hooking up with Kylie just for fun, not for a relationship. When it comes to Justin hooking up with Kylie, it has nothing to do with starting a relationship. Justin just wants to add to his numbers and conquests, and he knows she is totally cool with that. But as I said, Kylie and Kendall were not the only Kardashian sisters that Justin was allegedly sleeping with. Do you remember that one photo shoot that Kim did with Justin when he was just 16 and she was 29? Kim was seen posing alongside Justin while wearing lingerie. There was even a photo where we were seen running hand in hand. This photo shoot obviously disgusted a lot of people, and they did not hold back from letting Kim know. Some people even compared Kim to a cougar, since they felt like she was preying on Justin's innocence. She actually addressed this during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, Kim, do you have a crush on him?
If only he was 18.
18? Wait, there's stuff all over the internet about how you're a cougar.
How I'm a cougar?
Yeah.
I'm not even...
And then there was also Kourtney. Rumors of the two dating started when Kourtney made a suggestive joke about Justin while playing a game of cards with Scott Disick and Kylie. So while they were playing the game, Kourtney chose a card with the question, "Why am I sticky?" To which she replied by saying, "Justin Bieber." But this is where things get even more interesting. See, during the game, Scott was playing the role of the Lord. Now you're probably wondering what that has to do with anything. Well, Justin posted a photo to his Instagram, making out with an unidentified woman just a few hours after this episode aired, and captioned it, "Lord knows." A lot of people speculate that this was Justin's way of hinting that Kourtney's comment during the card game may have some truth to it. But Kourtney seemingly debunked this during a sit-down interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show back in 2016.
Bieber help with the kids at all, or?
No. Only
That's the rumor. I know y'all are just friends, right? Or are you really dating him?
we're friends.
You're friends?
Yes.
Why are you smiling that way?
We're friends.
You're smiling as if that maybe it's beyond friends.
I've been smiling this whole time since I've been
No,
sitting
no,
here.
not like that.
Now, as I said, all this nastiness with Kylie and her family messing with Justin was happening right around the exact same time Justin was getting tossed around the industry by Usher to Diddy and his associates. So Kylie got to see firsthand how a lot of this affected him. In fact, people believe that what he went through is why he made himself so readily available to be used by Kylie and her sisters. At some point, he probably gave up and just accepted that he's nothing more than a piece of meat to all these people. Okay, so if y'all remember, when Justin first started in the industry, he was signed to Usher. And Usher, in his very questionable wisdom, decided to introduce him to Diddy, even though he admitted to being exposed to things when he himself was mentored by Diddy. He said, "I want to save some shit for my book one day. I'll put it this way."
To New York City. and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop.
I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
Did you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
These are all words coming right out of Usher's own mouth, but as soon as he was given 16-year-old Justin, the first thing he did was introduce him to that same man he had just said all these things about. He won't let kids be around Diddy, but Justin can? At 16? Really?
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion.
And let's not forget that email that blew up online from one of the people working on Kim Porter's book, straight up saying that Kim wrote in the book that Diddy had supposedly been with Usher and passed him an STD. In fact, Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal later confirmed these allegations, claiming that one time Diddy was so tough with Usher in the bedroom that they had to rush Usher to the hospital. Some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom.
Live with Diddy, and he know a lot of stuff about Diddy that a lot of people don't know.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace or and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too, when he was younger. Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. Explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Now, knowing all this, it's really not hard to understand why Justin was not interested in speaking to Usher at all when they met at Beyoncé and Jay-Z's Oscars after party. Mind you, Kylie was also at this party, and according to sources, she was actually happy to see Justin standing up to Usher so publicly because he had a lot of pent-up resentment for him for a long time. And what's crazier is that even after their altercation, Usher dared to still publicly defend Diddy.
This might be a bit controversial, but in the same way, I think many people choose to look past the reality of what our country is, the standards that we now stand on. We can't ignore the reality of the history, but in many ways, I think certain people are prosecuted and maybe not recognized for the greatness, that they offer. I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. I'm not saying that every man is perfect. I'm not saying that all of us don't have flaws, but I can't, with any sense of humanity, not recognize the valuable contributions that this man made for us as Black entrepreneurs, for us as businessmen, for us as people who transition, culture and ideas into something that's tangible and becomes business. So many people benefited from what he created, and I acknowledge that. And that's why I see him, his legacy.
Yeah. You told Shannon Sharp you learned a lot about business during that era.
Absolutely.
What'd you learn?
Puff was a mentor bump, but he was like a, you had that really, really hard teacher, but you're watching something in real time. I think that the idea of the level of discipline that came with that time in business, especially in an era that was trying to prove itself culturally.
Kylie really should have come out with all this info years ago when Justin was going through all this, but she stayed silent until it was too late. Now she conveniently wants to do it because Hollywood has been getting exposed. Anyway, people had their thoughts, like this person who said, "And this is why I didn't giggle, laugh, or blame Justin when that TMZ story came out about Justin and Usher fighting. Usher is brainwashed. He sees nothing wrong with his own mistreatment." I don't imagine Justin feels similarly, especially especially if Usher put Justin in similar situations. Another person said, Usher was sold to Diddy as a teen, just like Justin Bieber was. He is either compromised or was a potential victim of his. The defense is disgusting. We need to figure out what he did or what was done to him. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Justin going off on Usher at the party? And do you really think Kylie and her sisters also had something to do with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.